Hey guys, MC Rider here, and welcome. Well, first of all, guys, I want to apologize because I have been posting many videos lately, and I said I was going to be trying to post more videos more often, like about once a week. Obviously, that hadn't worked out. Again, my apologies. I've been working a lot and on different things, just work, family stuff. And so for that, it's been a little bit hectic, so that's my bad, you know, obviously. But on a new note, though, as you can see, I don't have the R1200 GS Adventure anymore. I got rid of it, not because it was a bad bike or because I didn't like the bike or anything like that. I still think that's a very good bike and very well all-around bike. In other words, very good bike. The bike is excellent for commuting, touring, some off-road. Again, no super technical enduro stuff, maybe not, unless you're a super good rider, maybe. I really doubt it, but overall a very good bike. Very smooth, all the technology you get on that bike is insane, and a very nice bike. I mean, honestly, I have nothing bad to say about that bike. The comfort of the bike is insane. The way it handles is obviously amazing. It's a very good bike. But as I said, you know, I mentioned in a video before, which one is the perfect bike or the perfect bike for each individual. I think that bike is extremely good. And to me, if I had the money, I would have that one and more bikes. I actually have like, I probably have like 6 or 7 bikes. I wanted to get something different or whatever, you know, I have to let some of that go. So that's kind of what the case was here. I wanted to get my kids into riding, and they were wanting to do that. So I wanted to get something for them, and also before that bike, before the 1200 GS Adventure, I had this bike right here, the Scrambler, the BMW R9T Scrambler. There's a bunch of mixed opinions about this bike. I'm going to make a review on this later on. Today we're just going to kind of do a walkthrough, the bikes and everything, nothing really in depth. But so I had this bike before and I loved it. I just had a few issues with it when I got it the first time. And for that, you know, I kind of like decided to trade it in. I want to trade it in for the same bike. But they didn't have it at the time, so I just went ahead and got the GS Adventure because they were having a really good deal at the dealership back then, which was around December time. So I saved a lot of money on that one. So long story short, by trading that one in and getting this one, I actually make a little bit of money, and because of how much I paid for that one at the time. And so we got this bike right here for the kiddos. So this bike right here, I had it before the Adventure, but it didn't have the spoke wheels on it. Other than that, it was exactly the same bike. Nothing different besides the spoke wheels. So this time I got this bike with the spoke wheels, and you know, I loved it as much as I did then. It's one of those bikes that kind of like talk to you. You kind of like get, I don't know, this sounds cheesy or whatever, but you get this chemistry with the bike, and you're able kind of like to bond with it. For you riders out there that you've been riding for a while, you kind of probably know what I'm talking about. There's some bikes that are great and you love to ride them and everything, and you're good with them, but there's some bikes that you really connect, and this is one of those to me, you know. So I like it, although this is not, I don't want to say as good as the Adventure, but yeah, I mean, this bike is a lot more bare bones, simple. It doesn't have all the technology that the Adventure has. And obviously you can't do as many things as you would with the Adventure. The Adventure you can say, commute, tour, off-road, that bike can handle it. This right here on the other hand won't. This one was not designed to do all that. This bike is designed for basically just commuting. But again, we're just gonna go walk around the bikes, nothing really in depth. I'll make a review on this bike later on, and kind of like a contrast with a comparison and contrast with the R200 GS Adventure, although you can't really compare these two bikes because they are in two separate segments completely. So it's kind of like comparing a dirt bike with a street bike, like a crotch rocket, right? Yeah, you can't. Maybe it's gonna be more contrast because they're completely different, designed for completely different fields. But since I had the other one and now I have this one, I'm just kind of gonna go ahead and do a comparison and contrast with both. Again, really they're totally separate segments. Alright, so we're gonna go kind of over the bike fairly quickly. We're not gonna take too long on this. Just basically what the bike's designed for and some of the extras. Well, this is the R9T Scrambler, and it's part of the Heritage line of BMW, and they came with these models just to kind of bring that back. It's mostly about design than functionality, unfortunately. But the bikes are very good commuter bikes, extremely good commuters actually, in my opinion. And I think that's what they were designed mostly as far as functionality goes. This is a Scrambler. It's not an off-road bike, although the Scrambler name kind of brings that up. But it's definitely not a dirt bike. It's not even a dual sport bike, and not an adventure touring bike or nothing like that. You can bring it off-road, and it's gonna be okay. Or in the lower end of okay. Again, it's not an off-road bike. It's a street bike with knobby tires and like old school dirt bike kind of thing. But it's not. Okay, so it's designed for the street. And again, it's a very good commuter. It's just designed for the street that looks cool, I guess. This one in particular came with spoke wheels. Actually, I requested it with spoke wheels and the knobby tires just because, again, looks actually would be better. Will handle a lot better with the street tires than it does with this kind of knobby tires. For those of you curious about the tires, this is the Metzeler Karoo 3 tires. A lot of people complain about these tires as far as the handling goes. I have no issues with it. They're okay. They're not the best tires out there, I don't think, for street riding. They don't handle as a street tire, obviously, but they're okay. I don't have any issues with it. Again, this is one of the spoke wheels, although it's a pain in the butt to clean, but they look, in my opinion, they look a lot better than the cast aluminum wheels. Again, very simple. You have just one, I guess, dial over here as far as your instrument cluster goes. No fancy electronics here. Very basic. Again, you have some of the technology, that makes the bike a little bit safer to ride and stuff like that. We'll go over that here in a minute, but. And that's the instrument cluster there. You've got temperature. It's actually the engine temperature, is not outside temperature. Time. Your odometer. You got trip 1, trip 2, trip A. How many hours or whatever, or miles, I'm sorry, you've ridden that day. And then temperature. That's pretty much all you get. This particular bike has heated grips right here, and if you look at the instrument cluster, you'll be able to see what you have two levels of heat, or actually 3, 0 being 1. Then you have the 2 dots that the hottest is gonna get to basically bring them up to heat real quick, and then you can go to 1 and then 0. You can order without it, but it's like a $200 more for that if you get it from the factory. So, and I think most of the bikes here in the US come with it anyway. So some of the other stuff we have on this bike as far as technology goes is you got ABS and traction control, or stability control as people call it. Again, that's basically the only, as far as like new technology that you get with this bike. All the technology that you would get, all the fancy stuff that you can get with this bike. This is a very simple bike. Again, it's more for looks than anything else. And it's a very good commuter. You could not to say that you can't go on long trips with this thing. You can definitely go on long trips with it, but I definitely wouldn't recommend it. It's not comfortable. Like,
definitely is not, especially after riding a bike like 1200 GS Adventure. Yeah, it's you can't do it, but you're gonna have to be rough. You're gonna be tough to do that. But again, it's doable. And you got a hydraulic clutch. Obviously, your front brake. You got Brembo brakes on the bike, but they aren't as good or as powerful maybe as the regular R9T or the brakes that I had on the GS Adventure. But they work perfectly fine for this bike. I think it's perfect. No issues whatsoever with it.
Alright, so this one is also a Boxer engine. This one is the oil air-cooled engine. This is basically the old GS engine, late 90s, early 2000s. And what I like about it, I think BMW chose this motor very well for this style of bike. You have it adds character to the bike. It vibrates pretty nicely, and I don't know. I love that about this engine on this bike. Some people don't like that. I understand it. It's not for everybody. I don't think, but I think it's a very, very nice addition to the character. It gives it personality, motonality, I guess, of the bike. So it's really cool. I love that about that. The engine. I think BMW did a great job with that. The only thing that I really don't like much about it is that accessing the battery or the air filter on this thing is a pain in the ass. Technically, you have to lift the tank, and that's very inconvenient. They should have done it a little bit. They should have thought about this a little bit better. Make it a lot easier to change the filter and the battery, change the battery and everything. It's honestly and truly a pain in the butt to try to do that. So, but I don't know why they did all of that. Hopefully they change it later on. But that's to be the only gripe I have about it. All of that, I think the bike is freaking awesome. I love it. So again, BMW trying to keep that, I guess, heritage look or old school kind of look that went with this Crapovate, however you want to pronounce it, exhaust. And I think it looks awesome. I mean, it looks pretty cool and it sounds really nice. I do like the look of the lower pipe. Understanding, of course, that the Scramblers, they're known for the high exhaust, and this one has the high exhaust over here. So, but I like the look of the lower exhaust, which is probably going to make her more of a tracker now. So the bike's pretty cool looking. Again, it's got some things that are hideous, like that massive taillight right there. It's huge. If the bike would have the European taillight, would be, I think, okay. So I'm gonna have to change that. I don't like that. Hopefully, if I can find a smaller taillight for it, I'll probably change it. If I can find the stock, the European taillight stock, I'll probably change that because hopefully it'll be cheaper. But if it's not, I'm probably gonna just go with it's like a tail tidy kit. Gets rid of all that stuff over there because that looks hideous to me. But that's basically it, guys. The bike is fairly simple. It doesn't really have much to it, besides the looks. It's more of old school stuff. But yeah, guys, that's basically it. If you have any questions about this bike, let me know and I'll try to answer, as well as the GSA. I had some experience with that bike, so if you have any questions about that bike, again, I'm here. So just drop it in the comments below, and I'll be gladly to answer any questions that if I know the answer. If not, we'll look it up together. There's a bunch of people out there too that are willing to help us. So just let me know, guys. So till we're right again, ride safe.